What's up, YouTube? COD4Man220 and welcome back to our Code of Heroes 2 online replay. Man, I'm excited to bring you this one. I've been doing a lot of games recently, and I've won some of them, I lost some of them. If there's usually a good lesson to learn, I'll show a loss. I think I did that a couple episodes ago. But some of the wins, like the enemy team would be over in like 10 minutes, they just quit, or I'd be going against a computer. Like the one guy would quit that I was beating badly. So yeah, I'm very excited. No one quit this game, so this is good. We're going to be actually fighting. I mean, I don't really like this replay system very much. Anyway, so I'm going to be playing as the Wehrmacht. We're going to have 3 Wehrmacht allies. You can see us up top here. I think it's not tab to do it. It's an alt. Whatever. Anyway, so we have 3 Wehrmacht allies and 1 Oberkommando West ally, and we're going up against 3 Americans and 1 Soviet player. So every nation is represented once again. Man, they need to make some more factions. I'm telling you, I feel like I've been saying this since the original 2. Like, let's get a Polish faction, or some minor European faction like Finland or Hungary or something, or even the British. Another expansion to COH 2. I mean, if you look at COH 1, they basically had 3 expansions. They had the second one with the British, and then the third one was just a single player thing, kind of getting ready for COH 2. It didn't actually include any factions. Opposing fronts was a big expansion, so. Let me just quickly pause for a second, just talk about what we're doing. So me and my ally here, Akbar here, we're gonna be pushing into this town. So you can see we're not really worried about capping this area. We're gonna push forward. You can see I already have grenadiers in here. I want to make this so I can put a machine gun nest in here. And we just want to keep pushing against these guys. We're going to basically cut them off at the bridge here. If we can cut them off at the bridge and then kind of contain them on this side, they'll have no access to the town. So we have assault grenadiers and machine guns moving up. You can see that's my ally right there. So this is how you seize this town. My ally had the exact same idea I did. Kind of sucks you can't show the levels, I don't think, anymore. Well, anyway, we're pushing in here. And he set up his machine gun, and that's going to suppress him. We're going to move in with our assault grenadiers and my pioneers. We're going to try to kill these riflemen that are coming at us. Now, this game is about blobs. I have never seen in this game so many blob units of 3 armies together. My allies in the middle, I'm going to be dealing with especially, and I'm going to show you guys some nice counters to them. Now we're able to contain them. Anyway, you can see when I move out it turns out my men are running, they put their guns down, and they're more exposed, I think. So I just want to get, close to these guys. But I'm going to possibly lose my squad here if I don't retreat. So my goal is to put some barbed wire here and just cut off the movement from these guys. You can see they're already vet too. I believe this guy has the elite rifleman. Yeah, so we're both actually using the assault grenadier doctrine. I'm mainly using this for the Tiger assault grenades to push this town, and possibly the Stug 3 later. So he's covering me, he's going to get back before I finish the barbed wire. You can see we have guys. And you can see the rear echelons moving up. He's already started building bunkers, and he's going to upgrade these. Just to restrict the movement further of these guys. They're going to need bazookas to deal with these bunkers early on, because the Americans don't have mortars, just remember that. Now this point isn't connected, unfortunately, so we're not getting any of the extra munitions we should be. So that was one kind of mistake. It's a lot of heavy fighting. Anyway, the OKW player's had a little bit of trouble here. He got his Kupowagen destroyed by these Americans. Not a good map for the Kupowagen, but he's trying to lay down some barbed wire and restrict the movement of the Americans. And we have a bunch of Soviet sniper teams. I keep thinking like that I'm, the original 4 here. Like, I think I'm blue, but I'm really purple. And my allies are like orange. It's just kind of, this is a weird, they need to tweak this again or just leave it how it was, because it really wasn't bad. And you can see I'm laying down some of these, what are they called? They're these kind of like, they're these anti-tank mines, basically, for the Wehrmacht. It seems like you can really see units' abilities, too. Can't see what kind of mines they laid, but you can follow them. Okay, whatever. So we're targeting this position. They've already built a fuel cache. That's pretty surprising. I would have probably built a fuel cache. My kind of rule about fuel caches: if you're desperate, build them close to the front lines. But if you're not able to protect a fuel cache, that's a waste of manpower. And the previous time before this, my ally built 6 munitions and fuel caches. Didn't help me at all. We couldn't defend that. He had no men to help me defend those. And, the tanks just pushed right through our lines and destroyed all of them, so we lost all that manpower. This isn't a bad spot. They can defend that. Same thing back here, but definitely not the front line. So you don't have any kind of stable front line to defend those fuel caches or munitions caches. Especially when there's enemy machine guns, it's just a waste. He did hop these rear echelon troops in there, and he's going to be using that to launch rifle grenades. My ally is pushing in a little bit. And I got some grenadiers here. You know, one way I found to counter the this American blob, you can see they're not too blobby yet. They're kind of together a little bit, but that's not really blobbing, is to upgrade my men with the MG42 like I just did right there. So MG42s are going to be quite useful. Really gives your grenadiers some killing power. So I'm going to move up. I'm going to try to take this point. You know, the fuel cache is gone, but little do I know, I do not see this till the last minute. And I see rifle grenades, and I'm like, oh, that's not good. It's a very deadly combination when you have the rifle grenade and the 50 cal. So I'm just going to fall back. There's no point in losing any of my grenadiers for something dumb like that. Now keep in mind, I think I can... Oh, cool, I can't show this. Okay, here are our levels, if you're wondering. So you can see that we're all roughly around the same level on my team, and they're all pretty decent. This guy's man's caught or whatever, he's a little bit low, like first prestige, but this guy's second prestige, so it makes up for it. I've been seeing a lot of people that are overall, look at that blob. This is what I'm talking about. Look at that. Even, I haven't seen the medics attached in a while, you know. Usually don't have the medics, but they can just offer healing. But they can't heal while they're in combat, but they can just, you know, heal your men up. And they do shoot with pistols, and you can see they just killed the sniper there. So, he definitely has men behind the building. Yeah, nice. He has his kind of reinforcement positions behind the building. Very kind of, I'm going to build my own on my side. So here's a machine gun just to push back these guys. I mean, look how many units there are right here. You see what I'm talking about with the blob? Man. Someone pointed out in one of my videos before, they're like, you know, when you blob it, you call it concentrating of forces. I don't blob like this. I may blob 2 or 3 units together, but nothing like that. I really try to separate my forces, but sometimes to counter the blobs, you have to have your own kind of concentration of forces. You have to have your own kind of blob there. So I'm seeing my ally being, you know, pushed back by, you know, who can blame him? There was like 3 armies attacking him there. I'm moving with my Panzer Grenadiers here. No, not Panzer, sorry, my Assault Grenadiers don't move in. I'm going to throw some grenades and they're forced to retreat. But we do have these guys coming over here. I do have my machine gun kind of further back, and I feel like we're fighting back like the Huns here. So that's very bad. The mortar half-track's dead due to an early Sherman, and his medic bunker's basically screwed there. I'm trying to send in more forces. I guess I'm pink. I'm not even purple. Yeah, I'm pink. And just look at that. They're pushing out here. You know, we're starting to lose all this forward momentum we had. We're starting to lose. You know, the AA half-track shot. Their light vehicles came out much faster than we expected. I'm going to just talk about my strategy. I'm completely skipping mechanized company here for the Wehrmacht. Now, that's one thing that's a calculated risk. I don't have any ATs or Panzer Grenadiers now that I may need. Definitely not going to need the scout car, right? But I'm really trying to get a Panzer IV out quickly. And you can see I'm doing a pretty good job. I already got this built. I just need about like 2 or 3 minutes here. I should get around the 10-minute mark. So you can still achieve a Panzer IV in the 10-minute mark here. So I figure I'll be able to best help my team against this blob with a Panzer IV, being able to kill these infantry, and dealing with stuff like this AA half-track, who's causing some damage. I wish he had gone through here. That would have really messed him up. Would have damaged his engine quite heavily. So now they're destroying our fuel cache here, you know, combined force. It really pushed us back. We're basically down in this area with, you know, the sniper and the machine gun. And we do have a mortar half-track up again. You know, it's not bad to have a mortar half-track against these kind of close formations. And you can see that blob just routed. And these guys are here, but keep in mind, they're taking fire from the machine gun. I don't really have a lot, you know, make another Grenadier squad. I have some men still reinforcing at base. I'm really waiting for that tank to come in. I could really use it, but we're starting to lose more and more territory. And I just let my machine gun die in there. If I got out, they might have possibly captured it. It's just worth it, just pin these guys down as long as I can. To an AT out. So our position basically just has a machine gun and a Pioneer. Our whole front line's there, but they've pushed heavily into our center, now going to try to collapse on the town, including some Soviets.
The lieutenant has been assigned to field ops.
It's weird hearing like the lieutenant's been assigned to field ops. So they're just going to repair. That's one thing the Americans have a huge advantage of. They can just repair their tanks. If you ever see a damaged tank and it's pulling away, odds enough they're going to try to hop out and repair. It would be definitely worth it if you could pursue that and maybe hit them when they're out of their element. So I'm saving up my manpower right now. There's nothing really for me to make. You know, I already have a decent number of troops that are going to move in. I'm going to help deal with this Soviet, you know, blob here. They're not going to win against the amount of forces we have, though. Like, look at that. Those guys just got wiped out by that mortar. Very nice hit. Now, you know, he's going to try to pursue because those guys are routing, and I'm going to move in. So because of this tight coverage area, I have to like kind of condense my forces there. So you call it a little bit of a blob right there. I'm not going to call it what it's not. In that tight area, I'm going to get a blob, you know, kind of use my blob there. Push these guys back. It's not for an attack. You're going to see I'm going to spread out my forces a little bit here. I just want to capture this point. It's really about me keeping my forces relatively close to each other so that the MG42s or the Grenadiers can help support each other. Because if they get outnumbered against a huge force like that, they're just screwed. One of the awesome things that this guy has, General, let's call him 71, Russ. What he has is he has this awesome spotlight cap track, basically, and it's called infrared. And he can basically see all the way to here. So we go on the fog of war. We can kind of see attacks coming. Yeah, the blob's coming again. So when he moves it up, we can actually kind of see attacks coming. So you can see I'm countering this thing. I'm going to start doing tossing some rifle grenades. Unfortunately, they're just going to miss. I kind of double down on those. They do some damage though, but then they start rushing down the middle here. And I have my machine gun there, right? And I also have some assault grens, but they're outnumbered against these guys with light machine guns. We did push those guys back. I'm forced to kind of respawn and send these guys in. We managed to push these guys back, which is pretty nice. And I do have a Panzer IV that's out, and I'm rushing this guy right to the front lines, right to this area. I did lose an infantry squad, lost my assault grenadier squad here, but it's important that we were able to push those guys back. And I'm trying to kill that unit, and we managed to kill that unit. It's all about killing the routing units. So basically, they're going to save up their fuel, these guys. Let's see if we can flip back and forth. They're trying to save up their fuel. Maybe possibly, this guy's going to get a lot of priests, so he's going to do artillery. Same thing with this guy, he's going to get a lot of priests also. This guy's going to save up for EZ8s. But mostly they're playing a manpower game. It's all about, you know, cost of manpower. They're going to be using these blobs to try to wear us down so we can't reinforce. But it's, you know, it's very heavy concentrated on their manpower. So to replace any of these units, they need manpower. And if they take a lot of casualties or start losing units, it's going to hurt them. It's a war of attrition, basically. Can we kill enough of these blob, you know, enough of these forces to make it so they can't reinforce them fast enough? And that's how I see this anyway. I'm going to move in my Panzer IV. I've noticed that rifle grenades and anti-tank rifle grenades and pretty much anti-tank grenades in general aren't doing a lot of damage to tanks anymore. You can see they threw one here. Rarely do they kill the engines. I was actually surprised. Now, if they're in the back, then they'll kill the engines, but usually they're not doing a whole lot of damage to the engine, which I kind of like. It's kind of like when you'd see a conscript, you'd be blitzing out of there, and you'd be way too far for even a pitcher, professional MLB pitcher, to hit you, and it would just somehow lock on your tank and hit you. So maybe they fix that, who knows. Now my ally's going to move in, you know, he's using the flamethrowers and the grenades to kind of push these guys back. Middle's kind of being slowly captured by us. That's a Vet 3 machine gun, though. And they do have an AT and their AA half-track, so you can see they're reinforcing back at base. And this side's just completely kind of left. You know, there's a little bit of Storm Pioneer scene. This point always on this map is not too heavily fought over. It's usually the middle point here and all the resources in the town, because the town has that munitions point. Really just controlling that town is important, because you can set up fuel cache. It's pretty easy to defend, relatively speaking. And I'm going to repair my tank here because it's quite damaged. You can see those guys throwing launching the anti-tank rifle grenades. Anyway, so with forces are flanking, my allies are doing a good job of kind of containing them by using this mansion and the snipers to, let's see how many kills the sniper has, like 23. Really using the grenadiers, you can see we're pretty much able to counter these guys. We also have the artillery. That's when the Katusha starts coming in. They're going to try to level this house, which they'll probably succeed in doing at some point. Two-shoes are not quite as deadly as they used to be against buildings. And you can see my men, firing into this kind of blob. Or grouping, whatever you want to call it. And they're pinned because of the machine gun there, which is awesome, and they're forced to fall back. Now, so you're calling light artillery on, no, they're calling white phosphorus onto us to try to kill our men. White phosphorus cannot kill your men, it will just lower their health. At this point, I realize I have the munitions and the manpower. Might as well, after I keep these guys alive, I might as well build a medical bunker and keep my guys healthy and refit. Kind of make a more of a forward HQ. I definitely like doing that. Like, my ally had the right idea behind the mansion here. I wonder if he still has any kind of... Yeah, he's this right idea here. You get the reinforcement bunker and the medic bunker, and you can, heal and reinforce your men. It's great to have a kind of forward HQ so you don't have to retreat all the way back to your base. And then this guy goes with a mortar carriage. I've never really used this. I think I used it once. Didn't find it very effective. It's good that it's mobile, but it's actually well suited to take out these bunkers. So I see that, and I'm going to react with my tank. I think I'm going to react with my tank at least. You can see they're doing the classic thing I had to do with the major and the ambulance, just kind of reinforce them that way. And that bunker is gone, so that's really not good. Now my tank's going. Pathfinding's still a little weird in this game, especially when you reverse out of there. It's just a mortar carriage, right? I see that kind of like bazooka blob. I'm like, oh my god. So I gotta blitz out of there because, yeah, that's 4 units with bazookas and, bars. And you can see my ally's going to be using the Stuke 3. Very good against infantry, it can't hit any kind of light vehicle. I mean, it can hit like a scout car or something, but it's pretty weak armor. But it's very good against, infantry wielding bars. And they wiped out that squad, but it's important that he got his tank away. Anyway, I'm going to be moving my Grenadiers to help counter this kind of force that possibly is moving up. Another critical thing my ally did here was he laid these S-mines. So, they can take the point, right? But look how many S-mines are around here. These will just kill in the Bouncing Betty, that minefield. That'll be crazy good. And I'll have all my troops here ready to reinforce along my 2 Panzer Force here. So once again, we're holding the middle point, and we're holding the far right side. Look at these units getting decimated. They're trying to kill that mortar half-track, which isn't really doing anything, to be honest. Actually, it's not a mortar half-track, it's just a regular half-track because it got some Panzer Grenadiers with it. So, yeah, unfortunately that Stu got. I'm ready to, stand toe-to-toe with these American troops here. We all have MGs. We should be being quite deadly. We should be able to kill these units, and they're forced to fall back there. So it's good. You can see there's a lot. Mines don't necessarily kill outright, but they'll kill eventually sometimes. They often maim units. You can see this kind of truck is the mortar half-crack's like white. And let the first of the artillery begin. Just trying to hit my machine guns. I had 2 of them right here to counter any of the forces coming up this way. And the sniper's killed. They have flak emplacement up here. And the grenades are quite good with the combination of the bunkers with the machine guns. So you spend a lot of his ammunition on that. I wish I'd been able to put down some S-mines in this match. That would have been quite helpful, but I don't actually do it. And you can see I'm building my own kind of forward HQ like my ally did behind the mansion, except this one's a... I kind of want to put it... I could have put it like right here, but I thought, I don't think they're going to pierce our front lines as bad as they did that first time with that blob, And I have 4 units here, so I should be able to get this built quite quickly, and I can make it a command post so we can reinforce our men. Anyway, you can see that the mansion is dead. And the artillery spam has begun. And blobs and artillery. Don't get me wrong, priests are great. 1 or 2 of them. 2 at the most, but... I wonder what my allies doing here is... Well, we can see, can't we? Just dropping some Fallschirmjägers there to help reinforce on this side. Yeah, Obersoldaten, conscript killers. Just like Panzer Grenadiers were originally. Yeah, that artillery pounded, they're pounding the center. Now you can see they're attacking again this area. We do have an AT gun here. I can't remember how this got cleared. It might have been one of their tanks or the AA half-track they retreated a while ago. The issue is these units are becoming more and more veteran. It's going to be harder and harder for me to deal with them. I can't be using rifle grenades, which I'm going to try to do to my best advantage. But look at this. They're running right into the S mines. And honestly, I don't mind, you know, trying to take these guys down. But I ran into someone's own light artillery. And I have my 2 tanks here. So they're forced to fall back there. You can see the Tigers moving in. It's a little weird about my ally because you can have something like this happen. Let's just, for fun right now, let's count how many riflemen they have. So this guy has 2 riflemen. This guy has 2 riflemen. This guy has 4 riflemen. And it was like 6 for all of them with the officers they had, like the lieutenant. And I was like, oh, these guys want to try to come across our river. We got that locked down. I think what really makes it deadly, same thing with the Volks Grenadiers. That was a weird kind of lag spike, which is weird because it's just a replay. One of the interesting things is when they have the Volks Grenadiers with those bazookas, that's what makes blobs almost undefeatable, because you can't counter them with an well, okay, so you have Volks Grenadiers. You can't really counter them with Shermans too much, because they all have those, you know, like the bazookas here. That's what makes them really deadly. If you equip these guys and keep them alive, just retreating constantly with bazookas. Wow, I almost lost my squad there. If you attack these guys with bazookas and bars and light machine guns, you'll just shred usually whatever you can do. So to counter that, this is what we've been doing here is we're doing a lot of containment. We have the heavy tanks, we have machine guns, we're starting to get some artillery on the field. We have the mortar half-track here. They have better artillery though than us. They have a bunch of priests. You can see that's 2 priests right there and 1 right there. And Katyushas. These guys really like the artillery. Wow, that really... If he loses the Panther to a T-34 or 85, which he probably will. Oh, the Panther got distracted there. He's getting... Okay, good, he actually killed that squad. So this is really bad. He's going to possibly lose his tank, but... Oh, that won. Will the Panther live? Frontal armor? No. Bummer. That's kind of sad. He lost his Panther on that side. But I still have my armored force. You can see I kind of have a rapid response whereas I have 2 Panzer IVs and an Ostwind. So you can see that was the group we chased off there, and they're going to run back here. I love this new kind of armor design. I don't remember if mine looked like this. My Jacksons, but those look pretty cool. And you can see that we're just having the heavier armor too right now. That's going to really contribute to us doing quite well. Anyway, you can see right down here on the left side, I'm just going to push up and take out this machine gun nest. Just want to make it, you know, they're getting extra munitions from that too, so it's really worth to actually destroy their own building with the with the priest. It's really worth it just for me to get my men out of there. I was reversing, and my tank somehow does like a weird 360, so I try to get out. I'm even blitzing. And I just get hit, so I lost my Bat-2 tank there. That was very unfortunate. I'm going to call some artillery down. I'm trying to call down to lure off the infantry. So it wasn't worth losing my tank there, but that was a weird pathfinder thing. Like, it was cool to back out with the other tank, and then it just didn't. And you can see I'm repairing my Ostwind here. Damaged engine, but, you know, it doesn't really matter if the engine's damaged, because I can just easily repair it. I have engineers. So does my allies. It's kind of a repair point. And the enemy forces are pushing in again. We're in negative cover, so I gotta fall back because they're gonna call some artillery. Probably a light, a white phosphorus barrage. Yeah. Smoke barrage. That really, I mean, if the enemy will just sit there and take it, you can just shoot them down because you're gonna have no health. I was able to dodge that. I'm gonna push in here. I'm just not gonna let them easily take this. See, my Panzer IV got a nice hit there. The guy's on fire, and we wiped out the lieutenant. And the Ostwind's doing a little bit. Hasn't really killed anybody. It's only killed 1 guy. So I wish it was. I'm not sure I used the Ostwind correctly, but you know they're quickly retreating when they see that, so it may be a good deterrent. You can see artillery's going around here. Looks like he's dodging. He's moving his truck back and forth. They destroyed his headquarters. It looks like this one's almost dead. You should really repair those. These are pushing up, but we have it basically locked down. I mean, I have 2 machine guns. These guys are in basically negative cover. I'm going to pull my tanks, reverse them back. I'm just hoping to decimate and wipe out some of these units, because they're Veteran C3. But that won't save me. I'm losing squads here, because I got hit by both squads. It's a coordinated attack there. So I lost my guys, but I did manage to pick up... Well, that guy's kind of stuck. Look, he's like shooting in an animation. I did manage to pick up my MG42 and not let that get in the hands of the Americans. And we're taking this point away from them. You know, just getting extra 3 fuel and 5 munitions will just help. You know, it's really, you can see how much munitions we're getting. It's because we control most of the map. Even this section. I believe I'm going to take this point back. Yeah, he should really repair that medic thing. Maybe their 6 is going to get destroyed, but he does have priorities of his tank. So you can see, so far the infantry attack is not working with that blob. And the infantry blob is war of attrition right now, and we're definitely winning that. We can sustain those losses. We have machine guns and artillery to counter them. Well, I say artillery, we got basically a mortar half track. It's really just the, wow, that guy got destroyed. And you see those bazookas are quite good with the flamethrowers to just take out bunkers like that. And I see all those units and I'm like, I gotta get these guys out of here. He's going in his, yeah, so he does have artillery support now. That's his, where is it? Yeah, it says Panzer Warfare 42. It's been a long time since I've seen someone use those. I mean, usually the Wehrmacht players the OKW, because the Stuka-Sufus is so much better. Usually you see the Wehrmacht with the P4s, the Panzer IVs, and the Overcommando West with the artillery support. Anyway, I was able to grab a Tiger. I was so saving up my manpower. I'm usually manpower and fuel for. Tiger will definitely serve me in the long run. To see all these guys are getting pinned, I'm trying to repair this. You know, I want to keep my allies' bunkers off. I just saw he's lost a lot of bunkers, and he does have another one there. You can see they're forced to fall back. And artillery's coming down, and they're going to get a direct hit and wipe out my poor pioneers. Their last mission is trying to repair stuff for others. Yeah, then I see a Jackson, and I see 2 Jacksons. And I'm like, okay, that's not good. They're gonna try to, or sorry, I see a Jackson and an Easy 8. I'm saying, you know, if they want to try to pursue me, go for it. They're pinned by something. I'm not sure what they're pinned by, but they were pinned there. I'm moving in my Panzer IV, and he brought this up. That was kind of a mistake, because my ally has a Tiger there too. So he's definitely going to lose this guy. He's definitely going to lose his Easy 8, which is unfortunate. And he had to pull back his Jackson. He just gave up on that Easy 8. It's on fire. The reason they stay like that is so the Overcommando West players, well, yeah, he ran over with the Tiger, can usually repair wrecks with the OKW. And he's going to be using his Tigers quite effectively against these infantry. Tigers are so deadly. You can see they swiped out a Vet 3 captain. You know, he's just pulling back, and they're just really deadly beasts of war. And the Hellcats, I mean, I keep calling it Hellcat. The Jax is not going to do a whole lot of damage against it too. You really need to have a couple of them and be using the armor-piercing shots against it. And you can see we now got 3. So this guy, SS, chose to get the artillery to support his allies, so he's going for no tanks whatsoever. And when you have 2 of your teammates going for no tanks, and even the Russian players just really Katyushas and 1 T-34-85 and snipers, so like some unorthodox items from the Russian. So when you're down 2 players on tanks, of course the team that has 4 players making tanks is going to pretty much beat you. They'll eventually punch through and kill your artillery. You can see, you know, now it's just gone. I even have my Tiger up here. I'm just trying to do something, you know, possibly. I think I was trying to pursue, you know, this priest, because I don't like that. It's bombarding my own positions too. It's kind of annoying. I want to pack up the good old MG because I see artillery going in. My ally is this Tiger here. Should really upgrade that. You definitely need the machine gunner on top. Makes it quite deadly. I mean, it has its, first of all, it has its 88mm gun, I believe. I think it's an 88mm gun. Someone correct me if I'm wrong on the 88mm gun. But you also have a machine gun right there, and having that guy up top, very deadly. You don't usually see gunner killed. You usually see main gun destroyed when the tank's about to be destroyed. Anyway, Vet 5 machine gun. I haven't seen these. I definitely can't keep machine guns alive that long for OKW. But he's got to be careful. He's probably wants to get his guy out of there before he dies, because you know the blob is coming. And yeah, he's screwed. I'm laying artillery down for him. Yeah, I just want to push these guys back, but he lost his Vet 5 crew, unfortunately. Once again, victory points are in our favor. You know, with the heavy armor we have, so you can say, how are we winning this right now? It's mainly due to the fact that they have to keep pulling back and reinforcing these blobs. It's a manpower war. Now, do they have a ton of manpower? No, they don't. Also, we have a decent number of artillery. We have the mortar half-track that's still around, I think. We have the mortar half-track, I think maybe it died. We also have the rocket warfare. We have a lot of heavy armor and stuff to counter infantry. Like my kind of force here with all these guys should be able to easily counter these infantry. And, you know, we have a lot of machine guns and elite infantry that can take on these guys. See, my little force is going to be right here. I'm going to push in and try to wipe out some of these crews here. I'm getting hit by a Jackson, so I have to fall back. And I'm seeing my tanks are like kind of acting a little funny. They're not backing up. This guy's charging forward for some reason. And I'm like, okay, I'm screwed anyway. Might as well scout, you know. So I'm trying to blitz around this guy. And yeah, my tank gets abandoned. So, you know, I was screwed. Like, my tank came forward randomly. I was trying to give it too many orders at once, and the game couldn't keep up, I think. I know I don't really use this, but I have the Stuke 3. Very good against infantry, you know, just another way to counter these guys. And this guy's going to move in with his Tiger. Vet 2 to deal with these enemy units here. He's going to definitely try to wipe out that Jackson. She doesn't manage to... Oh, we managed to get it. Nice. He's going to destroy my Panzer IV. We don't want that to be in the hands of the Americans, so we're going to fall back. He's not going to leave now. He did his job, you know. He basically killed a Vet 2 tank that could have been quite deadly, and he's even doing a decent amount of damage to the EC-8. And the artillery's going off again. So they're down to 75 points. And nothing's really stopped. I mean, there's a couple snipers and machine guns on this side. Like 3 snipers, that's a lot. And a conscript. So pretty soon I'm going to get the idea with my own forces to start heading over that way. Did I leave these guys at base? No, I'm bringing them back to reinforce. I have random grenadier units around. They seem to have given up on this side, and I'm perfectly okay with that. If they want to start launching their attacks more towards the middle, that's fine. These guys even heal themselves when they're that high veterancy. That's pretty awesome. These guys do not have Panzerfaust, though. If they did, that'd be awesome. Anyway, it looks like I have a pretty decent force. I have a bunch of machine guns. So he's pushing them back. All the priests are kind of here. They're getting pinned and actually taking damage from the aircraft, so that's not a bad idea. I'm calling artillery somewhere. I think I'm calling artillery around here. Yeah. You can see the units aren't being fully reinforced. Like they're down to 3 men in their rifleman squads. And here was my idea to kind of push in. And I see a Katusha here. And I'm like, oh, hello, Katusha. I think this was a mistake. I think he just didn't think the infantry would be over here. So I'm going to hit it with a Panzer Warfare. He realizes it. So that combination, you know, you can see it didn't do a whole lot of damage. You know, every other tank would basically take out that Katusha in one shot. But, you know, it's due for infantry, so. I have the Panzer IV moving in. My ally has some infantry here. I'm going to help overrun this position. So I'm going, and I hit a mine, even though I was going across the water. So that's unfortunate. I'm going around this kind of AT gun. They picked up the rocket warfare. And you know, when you just have one AT, you can do this and just wipe out the squad. So snipers are going in the middle. My allies saying stop artillery in the middle, because they've really been spamming it with, you know, 4 artillery guns, and so they have 6 artillery guns pushing in the middle and just bombarding the hell out of them. So even the Tigers here, and if you're combat engineer, you're pretty screwed. I think my allies talking stuff to these guys. I think he's like, oh god, that's another Jackson. I think my allies like trying to maybe trick him or Or tell him maybe he can take the Mosey and bombard the hell out of him because my ally's fed up. He's been the target of most of that. So I'm gonna push it with my Oscar. I just want to be far enough away that I can really damage them because they're negative. Basically, most of them were in negative cover there, and it was directional cover. So even if I lose my Oswin, it doesn't really matter. Just suppressing these guys. You can see there's, multiple machine guns are on them. They don't really stand a chance. We're gonna have to retreat here. But that's when an easy 8 comes, and I'm like, okay. Thankfully I moved, otherwise that SU would have killed me. So I'm gonna pull back. The 2 Tigers are here. We're working on taking the center. I'm bringing these guys over. I'm gonna try to bring 1 unit over of mine to help repair my tank on the eastern flank here. And the eastern flank. And I would not announce to your enemy that you're coming to take him down like that. It's kind of funny because he's 2 Vet 2 Tigers. These are going to be quite deadly and hard for them to stop. And you can see, yeah, he's basically screwed. I'm calling artillery on the, it's kind of a coordinated assault. I'm calling artillery on the AT gun there. And you can see that American even ran into it. It's like he was trying to ram. And that's when the game ends. You can see he's going to definitely push in and probably take out a lot of this. And I hope you guys enjoyed. You can see we were able to counter the blobs effectively. I had really good allies in this match. It was nice to be hooked up with random people that were actually good. And you can definitely see the kills. I think we can, yeah, we can see the kills. So you can see I had 105, that guy had 105, 144 by MG. He's dealing well with the infantry in the middle. And they had a lot of losses. And none of them had a ton of, I mean, these guys had a decent number of kills, right? But the blobs really didn't have a ton of kills overall. Anyway, you can see definitely the ways we counter this were from the Stuke 3s I had, the heavy armor, the Tigers being very good at killing infantry, the Oswin I had, my allies had a lot of machine guns, we had artillery available, we set up, my ally Akbar set up, he set up mines over here, he also had machine guns helping me out. And then this guy, machine guns also, Fallschirmjäger, and we also had artillery and Tigers in the middle. So really just the heavy armor was able to help counter these guys. And, the way they were attacking, we were able to kind of concentrate and collapse on those. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. COD 4Man 221 signing off. Leave a comment down below.